But first, you heard me last night on the new coalition lineup. Pretty underwhelming, I said, and that's been the general view for most of the media today. Greg Sheridan, writing in The Australian, said that the new Shadow Ministry selection was weird and that Liberal leader Susan Lee's choices stored up, he said, bountiful troubles for the future. There's a noble illogicality, he wrote, a determined refusal to use relevant expertise in relevant areas and overall a stated commitment to incompetence about this Shadow Ministry. And he finished off his analysis saying that Lee's new Shadow Cabinet was proof of the old adage that nothing is so bad that it can't get worse. And given that Greg's seen a few Shadow Cabinets in his time, that's not good. Now, even if you did not vote Liberal at the election, every Australian who wants the best government for our country should hope that Susan Lee and her team succeed, because government can only be improved by a strong opposition. Yet in dropping some strong performers like Sarah Henderson, like Claire Chandler, like Jane Hume, and then sidelining others or demoting them like Jacinta Price, I fear that the opposition's only going to make itself the issue. Because rather than put her best team on the field and demonstrate that she's prized unity over factional rewards, Lee has used a Shadow Ministry to pay back favours and punish those who did not vote for her. Now, John Howard never did this. He always had Conservatives and moderates in his team based on merit, and they got to stay there, or they were dropped, based on performance. Tony Abbott, the same. Not so Malcolm Turnbull, who used his ministry as a weapon against his perceived internal opponents, and in the end, that was part of his undoing. Now, for all the criticisms of Peter Dutton post-election, one thing that should be properly acknowledged was his ability to hold the team together, which he did in the tough first term of opposition. And to build that team based on talent and experience, as well as bring in fresh blood, which he did it based on quality and talent, not about whether they were moderate or conservative. Because if a team advances, it advances together. If it fails, well, everyone fails. Politics has a lot of similarities here with sport. You have to recognise that in our Westminster system, elections are not won by a team of champions, but by a champion team. Individuals that collectively come together with a unity of purpose, effort and achievement. And when you win, everyone needs to share that win. And when you lose, you must be able to put disappointments behind you and play your best game today, regardless of how yesterday played out. Now, I fear that with this new Shadow Ministry based on factional mateship and not so much merit, this won't be possible. For one thing, I doubt it will be possible to point out all the failings of the government's energy policy at the same time as remaining committed to net zero, the target that all the big emitters have dumped and that even Tony Blair now says is doomed to fail. Still, Lee has risked making it worse with her factional picks. Most obviously putting the inveterate plotter Alex Hawke into Shadow Cabinet, with no doubt even more backroom influence over the New South Wales party. None of this will help her or the party win the next election. It won't make them competitive, and that's got to be her most important task as the leader after a defeat of this magnitude. So we'll see. I'm sceptical, given I've worked with most of the people on her front bench before. I've seen them behind closed doors, some at their best, some at their worst. I hope I'm proved wrong, but as I said, we'll see. We'll see. As always, leaders that aren't scared to pick a team smarter than them, braver than them, well, they're the leaders that usually succeed. Those that reward mediocrity, well, they tend to seal their own fate.